Welcome back, YouTube. This is Jake with Rough Golf, and today I'm going to help you answer the question of what is a golf handicap? This gets kind of confusing. When you're new to the sport, you might hear this word thrown around early on, or you might even have somebody reach out and say, hey man, what's your golf handicap? And immediately you're thinking, what is that supposed to mean? Like, just because I'm out on the driving range and taking out giant chunks of grass and dirt when I try to hit the ball, I don't think that that's a very nice thing to say. You know what I mean? And you're getting all those salty looks from those guys with the penny loafers down the line. You're like, hey, what's going on? Hey, quit throwing shade, Peter. It's not like that at all. A golf handicap is a number that you earn after you've played several rounds of golf that indicates how well you play on a consistent basis. Now, confusing? It kind of is. There's a lot of math involved in this. Thankfully, there is an app that will do all of this for you. We'll get into that a little bit later. As of 2020, the United States Golf Association, or USGA, has decided that only 3 18-hole rounds of golf can be used to calculate your handicap index. Now, there are other things to consider because as a golfer, you don't just get a handicap index. That handicap index is based upon the course handicap rating as well as the slope index of that course, which is calculated at the time of creation of the course when they designed it and everything like that.
Aside from your playing ability, the other factors we consider when determining your handicap index are the course rating and slope. This is an image of a scorecard from a course that I play quite frequently, and in the magnified area you'll see that there is a rating and slope for each of the individual tees that you would play from. The blue tees would indicate the pro level tees, the white would be the average golfer, that would be me, the orange tee would be the seniors tees, the red would be the women's tees. Now each of these set of tees is given a rating and slope to indicate the level of difficulty. One other thing I wanted to mention was that when you are trying to establish your baseline handicap, you need to play those 3 rounds, those 3 18-hole rounds at your local course that you play at all the time, because each course is assigned a different course rating and slope depending on the level of difficulty. So your handicap, in essence, is kind of assigned to the particular course that you play. And when you play a different course with a different course rating and course slope, your handicap will be adjusted for that particular course. So you're not going to want to take a round from, say, the home course that you play at all the time, and then a course that you play at with your buddies, maybe once every other month or something like that, because it won't really give you an accurate number. You need to play those 3 rounds at your home course using the same or playing from the same tees that you would play from normally, and that's going to give you the most accurate baseline number for your player's handicap. If you're new to golf, you may have noticed a section on your scorecard that shows the handicap for each hole. It's typically located under the par section, which indicates the number of strokes it takes a 0 handicap golfer or scratch golfer to complete the hole. These handicap numbers, 1 through 18, show the level of difficulty for each hole you are playing. So if you look down here where you've got the arrow pointing to the number 1, we see that hole 4 is the most difficult hole on this course, given the handicap rating. We also see that the hole number 8 is actually the easiest hole on this course because it has a handicap of 18. And all these handicaps are based off of a 0 handicap or scratch golfer. So now when you go to a new course, you'll be able to look at the holes, see the handicap number, and identify which hole is going to likely make you want to quit golf, throw your clubs in a pond.
Here's a good example for you. You have 2 golfers playing on an 18-hole course that is a par 70. So over 18 holes, level par is 70 strokes. Your first golfer, let's call him, Jake, might have a handicap of 15. Yeah, right. Then your other golfer, Peter, might have a handicap of, 10. So Jake and Peter decide to play 18 holes of golf. At the end of the round, Jake has scored a total of 85 strokes. Peter has scored a total of 82 strokes. At face value, you would think, hey, Peter scored better because he shot 3 strokes fewer than Jake on the course. But when you factor in the handicaps, where Jake is at a 15 and Peter is at a 10, Jake actually loses 5 strokes off of his score. So that means that Jake scored, after his handicap is factored in, a total of 80 strokes, which basically boils down to Peter loses. Now you may be wondering how you actually obtain an official handicap. Let me start by saying that if you are just a casual player and you don't participate in tournaments, you don't have any plans to go pro, then there's really no reason to have a handicap index right off the bat. Take some time, get to know the sport, develop your swing, get better at the game of golf. Don't worry so much about obtaining that handicap. Just get out there, develop your swing, play the game, enjoy the game, and worry about a handicap index a little later. For those of you that perform at a little bit of a higher level, maybe you've been playing golf for a while now, a few years, and you want or are interested in getting a handicap index, you will need to join an official group that is sponsored by the USGA in order to calculate your handicap index and have it officially recorded, because the USGA keeps track of all these things. If you look at your golf courses, most of them have a club that will actually constitute a group for the USGA that can officially help you record those scores so that you can get your handicap index. You will need to play 3 full 18-hole rounds and have a partner that plays with you to make sure that the integrity of your score remains valid. That partner will also have to sign your scorecard, and that will have to be officially submitted in order for you to obtain that handicap index. Now, if you're interested in figuring out your handicap without having to go through all the rigmarole of that USGA regulation stuff, then you can actually just download an app called Simple Handicap.
Is input the course rating and slope and the scores from the 3 rounds that you've played. The app will do all the calculating, and then it'll give you a baseline handicap that you've achieved after you played those 3 rounds.
Guys, that's all I have for you today. Now in my next video, me and a few buddies are going to do a 3-hole 7-iron challenge, wherein we use a 7-iron from tee to green. It's going to be awesome. Thanks for watching. Keep on swinging.